Hello everybody, it's Richard Lucas here and I'm back with a brand new retro let's play, and today and over the course of several videos I'm going to be playing through Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Game Gear using the Sonic Mega Collection Plus on the PlayStation 2. Now my reasons for playing the Game Gear version is A, I want to play every single 8-bit Sonic game I can on my channel, and B, because the Game Gear version is slightly different than the Master System version. It has a few little innovations and in my opinion is much harder than the Master System version. I think the developers were like, okay, we can't just port the same game over, we need to make some changes, and to be honest, some of the changes they've made really work. Sonic moves a lot faster and I think his sprite looks slightly different. Some of the acts are slightly differently designed as well. I was very surprised thinking I could just walk into this game and just complete it just like that, because I thought, oh, it'll just be the same as the Master System version, and that's why I kind of held off playing it for so long. But when I actually got into it, I thought, you know what, I'll do it, you know, because it'll be like another 8-bit Sonic game. And I was actually quite surprised. I struggled a lot with this game. So we're going to start it up now and get into it, and I'm going to hopefully do a Chaos Emerald run, get all the Chaos Emeralds as well, so, and get the ending as well. Yes, this game actually has an ending, so it's pretty cool. Right, okay, here we go. Sonic the Hedgehog on Game Gear. I'm not looking forward to some of the later stages, and as we go on, you'll see exactly what I mean. There's a lot of subtle differences, particularly in the acts themselves. They've added some graphics in, and they basically improved upon the first game for the Master System, I think. So it's almost like they just altered and tweaked things a bit. And it's a shame, because I think if this was on the Master System, I think it would have been like much, how can I put this, more challenging but also more enjoyable, because I do feel that as good as the Master System version is, it's not as hard as the Game Gear, but you get to the end, you do all that work and you hardly get anything, you hardly get any ending, no credits screen, and it's very disappointing, to be honest. But with this version, there's definitely an incentive for kind of finding everything and completing the game, so I'm going to get every Chaos Emerald now. I think like 2 Chaos Emeralds are in a different place, I'm not sure, there's either 1 or 2, I can never remember, but I know for sure that in Labyrinth Zone they've definitely altered one, I think to make it easier. The funny thing is, they've made it easier in some parts and harder in others, like on Jungle Zone, where you get the Chaos Emerald, they've conveniently put a little platform for Sonic to stand on, so he doesn't have to kind of rush to get to the bottom to find it. It's amazing. 88 rings. There we are. Bit of headbanging and into the special stage. Even the special stages are different as well, which surprised me. I thought they'd just replicate the same, but the fact they took the time to redesign them is pretty cool in my book. Right, we need to try and get an extra life and a continue. Now, I guess the same rules apply, that you can only go on the special stages up until Scrap Brain Zone. You cannot go on them after that. For some reason the game won't let you. So basically you need to take advantage early on and visit them every chance you get, because if you've never played this before, you're going to need every single life and continue you can get your hands on. And also bear in mind that when you see a continue, as we're about to see in a minute, then you need to collect it, but you also need to get to the end and hit the checkpoint at the end, or the sign, because the game won't register it unless you hit the sign at the end. Get the continue. Pick up some cheeky wings. Try and get as many as I can. There we go, that'll do me. Lovely, that'll do. So boost up my score as well. I think it's like for every so many points as well you get an extra life, so you know, and the game isn't totally unfair. I mean, it does give you some tough moments, but it does reward you as well. So it is kind of fairly balanced. But I will say Skybase, when I get to that, you'll see what I mean. How difficult it is compared to the Master System version. I've got the ring shield now, and even the ring shield looks different as well. There we are. We'll pop in there now because check it out. Extra life. Yeah, I was quite surprised because a lot of Game Gear games like are different to the Master System version. I just can't understand. Some of them are even better. Like I know Batman Returns, that one's got like loads of sort of different things going on in it that the Master System version didn't have, like different features. I'm like, the Master System could have used those features, you know. Really bizarre. But then again, I know games like the Lucky Dime Cape, I've seen Let's Plays of that for Game Gear, and I'm like, oh my god, that is just even harder on Game Gear. Levels are much longer and crueler. I've watched people like throw their Game Gears down, or their controllers, or whatever they're playing it on, in frustration because of how difficult it is. So there does seem to be a lot of unbalanced elements when it comes to porting games for the Game Gear. Developers just kind of seem to want to make things almost exclusive for Game Gear and not sort of give the Master System sort of the version that perhaps they should have had. There we go. More rings, great. So with all these rings now, I'm going to hop into the special stage again once I get to the end. Go put down here. There we go. Pick up some more rings. Nice. You can even get little points as well. Occasionally when you hit the sign at the end you do certain things. You couldn't do that on Master System. Yeah, it just really annoyed me the other day. I tried filming this and I had sound issues. I didn't even check it. I just kind of watched like a minute of one video and I thought, oh yeah, everything's working. It turns out that most of the time, whenever a zone would start, the sound would just cut out. So I've checked everything today, so fingers crossed you guys are going to get full sound. Because that's one thing I'm very stringent on, is the quality of my videos. I want them to be the best they can be. Another continue there. You know, I mean, they're certainly not perfect, but I always try and think, okay, if I'm the viewer, what would I want to see? You know, I'd want to see, you know, decent sound, decent commentary as well. So I'm always adjusting my commentary, ensuring I'm not too loud or things like that. I never realised there's like so much to think about when doing a Let's Play. Yeah, let's just get to the end now. I could pick up more rings, but I've got to continue, and that's really all I need. And I'm doing a lot better as well than I would normally. So, again, the more rings you can get, the more points. So I think for every 50,000 points, you get an extra life. And that can occur sort of in the game as well. So the game keeps track of like enemies and stuff. Right, go back now. I thought there was an extra life there. I must be thinking of the Mega Drive version. But anyway, there's one down here, I know that for sure. And like Robotnik, his boss fights, I think, personally, later on are a lot harder because Sonic doesn't feel like he's got a lot of room to fight him, particularly on Jungle Zone. Now that one I can do on Master System almost no problem, but here, because of the limited viewing frame, it's harder. And check out how easy this battle is. They adjusted it so you can just take him out straight away. So I've just hit the 9-minute mark pretty much now, and yeah, that's that zone done really. But the same sorts of things happen anyway. You save the animals and all that. And there you go, should get an extra life now, and there you go.